Hello, my name is Caroline Agardy, and I'm Vice President for Human Resources. The Division of Human Resources works in partnership with colleges and divisions to serve the human resources needs and the strategic goals of the university. Many of you know the Division of Human Resources has recently completed a classification and compensation study. We undertook the study to assess where our salaries for staff employees were in relation to the market and to design a compensation system that would be more in line with the market. You're probably saying, why are you talking about a market? What is a market? Well, a market is where we compete for salaries. So it's the salaries that other employers in the area are paying, whether it's Columbia or the region or even nationally. We are competing for certain jobs within a market. So that's what we mean when we're saying we're comparing our salaries with the market. This new structure will help us with strategic priority number 2, which is to hire and retain a world-class faculty and staff. Of course, this will focus on the staff part of that goal. In September, with the concurrence of the Board of Trustees, President Amaritas approved the implementation of the study and the redesign, and he was able to provide some strategic funds for a portion of the implementation of this project. Today, I want to tell you more about the redesign and the implementation plan. The goals of the redesign were to develop a comprehensive and transparent compensation philosophy. We also wanted to shift the compensation program to market pay. Within this new structure, based on titles and positions, we will have more equitable compensation for all our staff employees. We also are defining our career paths so that employees at the University of South Carolina will know where they can go in their career in terms of advancement. In terms of project milestones, we've started partnering with PayScale, which has a market tool for us to review. That started in July of 2021. In that time frame, we were updating the position descriptions to reflect the current job duties, and we did this with all the divisions, the colleges, and the schools so that the position descriptions would be current. We established an advisory committee, which helped play a part in hearing from us on a monthly basis on where we were with the project and how we were going, and also giving us feedback. One thing that was very important was developing a pay philosophy. So that was done fairly early on. We reviewed all the positions and aligned them into recommended job families and market titles. And the reason we have market titles, it enables us to compare with the market, and rather than to try to figure out which jobs really match the market. If you align the titles correctly, you're really saving time and making sure you have accurate comparisons. We also established career paths and progressions, and that was very important to this study because we had a lot of people who were exiting the university that would say career advancement was one of the reasons they were leaving. We benchmarked salaries against other organizations, and we created more narrow market ranges that closely align with the external market value of the broader state classification ranges. We gained presidential support and also Board of Trustees approval. This slide shows matching the jobs to the market. We now have something called job families. Job family is a grouping of jobs in a field of work that includes multiple areas of responsibility. Within the job family, there are job functions, which is a specific area of responsibility or specialty of varying degrees and scope. And then we also have levels within the job functions. But let me show you the next slide to really understand this. On the next slide, in the blue at the bottom, you'll see a job family, information technology. We all know about information technology. They help us every day do our jobs. Well, one of the job functions is information security, making sure others don't get our data, and we have firewalls, and there's a whole field of occupations that deal with information security. So within that, there are job titles that might be an IT security analyst, 1, 2, and 3, and it goes all the way up to a manager. That's just one example of how we're using this new framework. In terms of the study, we are now at phase 1. We have assigned the market titles to each position, and we are sharing that with employees. Employees will be able to go to our USC jobs or people admin and see the position description and this new framework. In phase 2, we're going to publish the market structure. And during this time that we publish the market structure, everybody will know what their new market ranges are. And there are some employees that are below the minimum of the new market range. And so those employees, about 15% of our staff employees, will be moved to these new minimums. This will also follow the new institutional minimum wage, which is being raised to $14 an hour on January 1st, 2023. Phase 3 of our study will come later, but it will be in even phases as well, because it's going to depend on the college, division, and the units in which these jobs are located and where they are in proximity to the market. But the units are going to have to prioritize based on perhaps turnover, based on how far the jobs are to the market, and pay equity. So HR, our class and comp team, will help the divisions and colleges with this step. But again, this will start in January, but may be spread out across several months before this phase is actually complete. In phase 1, I've indicated that you'll have a market title assigned to your position, and it's been assigned to something called a leveling guide. You'll learn more about the leveling guide, and that guide is actually on our class and comp study website right now if you want to go take a peek. Today and later, you'll be able to log in to People Admin to see your current position description and your new job family, function, level, and title. The new market titles will also be reflected in the applicant portal. That way, applicants will know about these titles as they come in, and they will never see this transition that you're experiencing. Jobs evolve, and your new title may change based on the duties and the scope of responsibility. And so updates will occur along the way of your career. You can also submit questions directly to your HR contact or your supervisor regarding your job titles. But in addition to that, our class and comp team will receive general questions about the study and the implementation. On this slide, you will see actually the view that you will have in People Admin. Again, you'll see the job family description, the job function, and the level. Your internal and working title will not change. Again, we're going to have 2 different titles. One is the current working title, but instead of the state classification, we're not going to refer to that anymore. You're going to be talking more about these market titles as we make comparisons across the institution. Phase 2 will be implemented January 1, 2023. Employee communication of the new market ranges and any associated salary adjustments will occur in December. The market pay structure, which is the new market ranges, will be aligned at 90% of the external market. Employees with salaries less than the new minimum salary range will be receiving an increase to the minimum. PeopleSoft will be updated to provide employees their new titles and new market ranges. So where you go and look at your titles on PeopleSoft to see your pay now, you will be able to see this new market title and range. The new comprehensive compensation page will be created and will be available in January as well. And we will keep that updated. So there's a lot of transparency about this new pay structure. Phase 3 is what I talked about before when we look at the compression, we look at market equity within different divisions and colleges, and we'll work very closely with your leadership. What will happen is as employees are increased to the new minimum, it compresses against those who have been in the jobs maybe a longer period of time, but are still below the market level. So a lot of our pay decisions will be made on those employees who are below market and by a number of criteria that we call compensable factors. Certainly education, length of service, and even performance in the individual will be taken into consideration as increases are given in the future. Class and Comp has always looked at pay equity, but again, we'll have a better framework to do that. And as divisions and colleges work with us, we will certainly be keeping an eye on pay equity across the university. We will also have a process for annual evaluation to assess the ability to move closer to 100% of the market over time. Again, this will depend on available funding. Just some reminders, the compensation project website is available for employees. It's been out there since last year, and we keep adding to it, but we will convert that to a compensation website once the project is in phase 2. Aligning pay ranges to the market also does not guarantee an employee increase. It would be great if we could have given all of the employees below the market a raise, but we didn't have the funding to do that. So what we did was move people to the minimum of the market. What we're going to do is move people to the minimum of the market. And then those that are still below the market, again, will be looked at on a group basis by their own colleges, schools, and divisions. Job alignment is based on the current role and not the current employee. So in essence, it's what you do, not your background and not your education in terms of how you're actually assigned to a market title. So if I work in HR and may have had a degree in economics, just because my degree in economics might be worth something in the market, that's not how I'm considered in terms of my pay. So I hope that helps you a little bit to understand the new system. We do want to provide an opportunity for you to ask questions. We're really excited about this study and what it will do for the future. Right now, it may not look like it's going to do a whole lot for you if you're not in the 15%, and you won't know that until December. But for those of you that are below the market, the goal is to bring you up toward the market as you progress in your career here at USC. And again, we'll have a lot more opportunities for you to have advancement by knowing about the career paths we have at the university. There is a QR code here on the page that you can ask general compensation questions to our classing team. And then if you have specific questions about your own title or how you compare with another person within your work group, that's a discussion you need to have with your manager or your HR representative. Thank you for your time today.